to welcome members of the Cuban-American community, Senator Menendez, Senator Meeks, to discuss. Earlier this month, Cubans took to the street in a historic demonstration of the will of the people of Cuba. The regime responded with violence and repression, mass detentions, sham trials, and people disappearing who have spoken out, just disappearing. Family members, I'm told, are not able, have no idea where their family members are back in Cuba. And in a brazen violation of the rights of the Cuban people, the Cuban-Americans are hurting. They're hurting because their loved ones are suffering. And it's quite frankly intolerable. So I want the Cuban-Americans to know that we all around this table, and myself included, see your pain, we hear your voices, and we hear the cries of freedom coming from the island. The United States is taking a concerted action to bolster the cause of the Cuban people. We brought to bear the strength of our diplomacy, rallying nations to speak out and increase pressure on the regime, and we're holding the regime accountable. Last week, we sanctioned the head of the Cuban Armed Forces and a government entity called the Black Berets for their involvement in suppressing protesters. And today, we are adding sanctions against the Revolutionary National Police, as well as individual sanctions against the chief and deputy chief. The chief and deputy chief. And we're going to continue to add sanctions on individuals that carry out the regime's abuses. At the same time, we're increasing direct support for the Cuban people by pursuing every option available to provide internet access, help the Cuban people bypass the censorship that's being mandatorily imposed. And uplifted at every step of the way, and we're going to get down to business. So thank you all for.
Will there be more sanctions against Cuba coming up, or are you stopping with what you did today?
There will be more unless there's some drastic change in Cuba, which I don't anticipate.
Okay, thank you.